Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday night, and it's another episode of Open Shutter. We have Salorm here, we have Evans here, we have Brian here, and we have Paul here. They're going to take a second and tell you about themselves. Thanks for watching. We're just going to play with some editing tonight, and that's it. So let's start with Salorm. Meek, tell us about yourself there.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Salom. Business name is Meek Photos. I'm on YouTube as Meek Photos as well. I am a wedding and portrait photographer, and I'm not great at speed editing, so we'll see how I do today.
This one's for you, man. This one's for you.
All right, that's good.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Evans. I'm based in Brampton, Ontario. I'm a portrait and events photographer. It's going to be a fun show tonight. Welcome to Open Shutter. If this is your first time here, we're going to have fun. Enjoy the show.
Preach.
My name is Mr. Brian James, and I am a street and portrait photographer mostly, and you'll see a couple of my shots here tonight. Located in Toronto, Ontario. You can find me, as Paul says, everywhere on the internet.
Everywhere. Also on rooftops. That may or not be legal. Well, you put on the reel.
I saw that too.
that was all CGI. It wasn't there.
Okay. People that fly drones that shouldn't be flying drones. I mean, you're just asking for it. That actually put it on social media. Anyway. It's a good segue into my thing. I don't know how that works, but it kind of works. Thanks everyone for jumping on another show. It's going to be a good one. We did a few of these last year. And I don't know, I think we're getting better at these kind of shows because they're not too easy to pull off, but I think we have the right crew to do it. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name's Paul in Toronto. Run a photography meetup group called Get Out Shoot. Visit us at getoutshoot.com. We're doing lots of virtual stuff during this lockdown. I think the lockdown is lifting. I'm not sure exactly on the rules because I think they're really confusing. But I think we can leave our homes after next week or the week after or whatever it is. So maybe we can do some actually in-person meetups soon, which would be nice. Because I'm getting really bored about shooting fruit. And visit us at getoutshoot.com for all the events, and follow me on Instagram, YouTube, follow these guys on YouTube. Like this video, because it helps us pay our bills. Not really, but one day it will.
One day. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to jump in for some editing. I don't know where Kobby is. Kobby was our Capture One guy. I don't know where he is.
Kobby was the glue to this whole.
He was the Capture One guy.
He was.
I'm the Photoshop guy. I don't know what programs do you guys use. Let's first say what programs we use before we get started on actually editing here.
Okay, I will be using Lightroom primarily, and maybe Photoshop. But very unlikely.
Unlikely.
I guess I'm going to be using Capture One. Okay. I mean, Lumina AI then.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I need to get that.
My hard drive is full, so I'm going to be using whatever will open.
That is a risky proposition.
Even I'm trying to load the photos in here now, and even my Lightroom is slowing down, which means if I try, I don't know, I'm just worried. This happened to me last time too.
Yeah,
it's so weird. I feel like it's been. It's been
the last time I was
here.
Show my computer crashed. So
Mr. McGowan, Kobby is in the green.
Kobby is here. All right, let's let Kobby in here. Mr. Kobby.
What's up, guy?
How are you?
Oh, where's my headphone? Jeez.
I love your hat, by the way.
He's probably done something new with his hair. This guy's always playing with his hair.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting like a feedback from me?
Not really.
No.
I think it's kind of okay.
I hate getting feedback from you.
Okay, then that's great.
Yep.
We got Tony watching. We got Tim watching. We got the drone guy watching. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. I'm a Lightroom
drone
guy.
guys here.
So I'm just gonna put a spoiler and say all the photos are going black and white.
You've done that before.
I have done that before and went over
and
really well.
And you flipped them upside down.
And I thought, remember that photo?
I remember.
One of my greatest work.
I'm still trying to load these photos, man. Come on. Why can't I just drag them off of Google Drive and put them on my desktop?
You should be able to.
What is happening?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we don't have the pictures yet, right?
We do. They're in.
They're in the
we
Google
do.
Drive.
They're in the drive.
Are you?
For people,
But you didn't get a
We're
link
so
to it.
well organized. We're
for
so
people in
well
the audience,
organized.
we actually do plan these shows.
Okay, so
Download.
hey, Brian, it wasn't in your link to the email.
No, it was from Paul. Paul's
from
All
me.
set up the Google Drive.
I just forwarded it to you, Mix.
Paul didn't send me one. He didn't send me one.
It's in the
I
Open
just
Shutter
forwarded it to
chat.
you.
Paul
Okay,
kicked
all
you
right.
out.
I
Can
just
we
forwarded it to my
restart
email.
the
Thank you,
show?
Evans.
Can we just restart the whole show?
Thank you, Evans. Thank you very much, Evans, for
Yeah, if
sending
you're
me
still
the
with
link.
us, thanks for sticking it out with us while we figure this out. It's gonna be worth it, though. I promise.
Yeah, that'd be good. Should we start, Brian? Should we just like start with like your photos that you sent us?
If you want to start with one of mine, sure.
Sure,
Just
I can do it.
whoever.
I'm still
I'll
downloading.
start just to get the ball rolling while people
Okay.
vote
All
stuff.
right. So if you go, I'll make you full screen, Paul. And
Ooh, full
once you share your screen there.
full screen.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm excited about the desk with the chair. That's the one I wanna crush that one.
Okay. Go for it. I'm curious to see.
Well, so let me be honest. Like, okay, so I'm gonna make it look cool, right? But what I have like an idea that I want to do that I know I won't be able to do on the show because it's gonna take me some time. But I don't know. I want to see if I can pull it off maybe on my own, and then I'll send it another
Yeah.
time.
Go for it.
I just
Play with
shared the
it.
screen.
I don't think I have the technical ability to do what I have in my head.
Yeah, you do.
Mm,
You can do it.
doubtful.
Let's
Okay,
get into the
so-
matrix first.
Yes. Let's
Yo,
see what Paul's gonna do here.
the bike,
No.
the motorbike shot, it looks great. I don't even need to edit it.
Well, I edited it and it looks better, so you can do something.
Brian, you want to give some background on these photos?
Okay, so I provided 3 photos to the group to edit for tonight. All 3 are from a recent abandoned house explorer, and I'm hoping to take Paul there soon. Actually, it's a nice little house, a lot of photographic opportunities, and I'm curious to see what these guys do with some abandoned photos.
And if you don't hear from me for the next little while, you know exactly where I am.
You've been abandoned.
I've been
So
abandoned.
Paul, you've got one loaded up there. This one
Yeah.
is
Okay.
a chair in a basement.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna share my process real quick for people that aren't familiar with Lightroom or they just want a different take. Is like the very first thing I do is I click on the auto edit on every single photo, and it just brightens up a little bit so you can see what's around. So another thing that I like to do is I like to look for distractions in the photo, and I like to get rid of them right away. And to me, like this like paint here on the back wall, I think it's a little bit distracting. The light coming through the window is a little bit too harsh. And obviously like the main focus point is like the chair. So I kind of want to highlight the chair. So the way that I would start to edit this is I would grab a grad filter. I don't know how well you can see this on the screen, but I'm going to grab the grad filter and I'm going to pull it down.
Yeah, we can see that okay, I think.
People in the chat, if you can't see this, let us know, because this is the whole point. Not the way that I edit stuff. So I'm just going to play around with the sliders, and I just essentially want to darken the back part of this room.
Okay.
I don't want the viewer to see these like blotches of paint, but I still kind of want to have a little bit of like mood to it. I kind of want to make it mysterious. I kind of want to make this like a movie poster if I was in a movie.
Okay. If anyone else starts editing theirs too, just let me know. Share your screen and
yeah, you can just like dive into other people's windows.
We'll dive into other people's process too.
Yeah. So okay, that's cool. But the chair is kind of dark, right? Like you can't really see the chair. So what I'll do is I'll grab a grab filter, I'll pull it from the bottom. Okay. And I want to get the chair. I don't know, maybe do half a chair. Who knows? Let's just see what happens. And I'm just going to play with all these tone sliders.
Yeah, the best part about abandoned shots like this is you have so much dark and so much light. It's ideally
And-
you'd have multiple exposures, but sometimes you don't get time for that. So
Like, honestly, like editing is such a personal preference that,
Oh, yeah.
like, I mean, it's just like the way that you want the shot to be. And a great way to like edit is like, what's the mood that you want to like convey? And that's really all there is to it. I don't.
okay. Is anyone else working on one?
I finally just hit the dial, so give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
just
I-
doing social media sharing for now.
Social media sharing.
Yeah, sharing the link.
He's trying to get us out there, get more people watching.
There you go.
Call
There you
Adobe.
go.
Kobby, you working on anything over there?
Where are these?
Ooh, look how dark this gets. Like, you can
Kobby's on
make
mute.
this- okay.
I don't know if Kobby realizes he's muted.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry,
Okay.
I do. I'm sorry, my bad. So I
No
think
worries.
I can share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen. Let's see what you're
With
working on there.
respect to how I would treat the chair,
Crush it, Kobby. Crush it.
the chair shot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the best in work. I work in Capture One, by the way, guys. Just so you know.
Yes, you're the Capture One guy. Let's
Yeah, I know some people don't want to work on certain things, but no comments on that. So yeah, it's shared now.
gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So
Are we,
what
are we
I
all doing the
normally
same
do-
photo? Is that the idea? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Do the
off.
same photo, yeah. Yeah, do the
Let's
same
start
photo.
with that one.
Yeah. So what I normally do is I first prefer to pull out my shadows a little bit just to see what I work on. And I'm always looking at this side, looking at how the histogram works a little bit, because that shows me which colors are extreme and are not. One thing also is I like to kill the white a little bit because I don't see the details in the window that much. So instead of doing all that, I kill it a little bit. This one, I would want more of the elements to show because I prefer to grade it first just to see how the look feels. And then I'll go to the levels. This time I'll play with the blues more. So I reduce this just to give the shadows a bit of a blue tint, more blue than the rest.
Okay.
And then I'm going to reduce the blues in the highlights just to give the tonality of the yellow in there. And then I will go to the sharpening just to increase it, but I'm still going to reduce the threshold because I want the sharpening to be around the edges, not really all the details.
And just for anyone watching, just in case they're curious, this was shot at f1.4 at ISO 500 with a 16 millimeter f1.4 lens, 1/160th of a second.
I just saw it on the histogram. I was like, oh, am I working with an f1.4? Damn.
What kind of Sony was it shot with?
I don't shoot with that crap.
Don't
Leave
get
us
him
alone.
started. Don't get him
Yeah.
started.
So because
Let's go.
because
Not
I
that
want
kind
to
of show.
I want to play more with the shadows. I don't want a black shadow, but I want more of a charcoal feel to it, just
Okay.
to add more of the dirt. So what I
Yeah,
do is
it's
go
not
to the
supposed to be a
preset.
clean, pretty space. This place has been
Yeah,
abandoned
I
for a
go to
long
the
time.
preset, pick the 5 point, and then I just make a mark on there. So, well, for guys who cannot see what's going on, let me just take this out just to show you.
So that's just
So
is
this
that
is
just
what
a
I'm
preset
working
in
with.
Capture One?
No, so there's a preset that can guide you on the points.
Okay.
That's what I use. Yeah.
Okay.
because I don't want to do all the points myself. So this is all I need, just to bring it up a little bit, just to fill in the shadows that I lifted earlier on, just to keep the vibe going on that. And I'm going to increase the brightness slightly. So there are more I could have gone to Photoshop to clean it up a little. Though I like the whole feel of it, but I just want to still make sure that I'm cleaning it up a little. But one thing that I will also do is to put in some clarity, because I still want to work around the edges. The edges are what's important to me. It fakes the illusion that everything is sharp. So I increase the structure just a little bit. I normally go around 10 to 15 thereabout. And this time around, I want to focus more on the chair. So I go in with just a little bit of the vignetting, not too much. And then I'll create one more layer. I'm doing a whole lot. My goodness.
That's okay. We'll let you do that layer, and then I'll jump to somebody else, see what they're doing.
Thank you.
I like the explanation, though. The explanation for what you're doing and why is exactly what people need to have.
Yeah. So I just do a layer, and then I put in this gradient right on the chair, because that's what I want to brighten up a little bit. And then I increase the brightness on there.
So if you're in Lightroom or Camera Raw, that would just be a radial filter.
Yeah. So I have to invert it. This is the last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to invert this because I didn't choose a fill layer.
Okay.
Sorry, it's hanging a bit. My goodness. Don't hang on me, Capture One. Don't do that.
Never happened.
That's why you don't use it.
All right. Well, Kobby's hanging there.
Yeah, so I just do that.
Oh.
I think I'm done. And then I just invert the mask. Boom. That is it. So kind of roughly on there. That's what I would do.
Okay. That looks good. All right.
So,
who else is working on it? Anyone else want to share?
I'm working on it.
Share your screen, Brian.
It's shared. It's just
there we go. Okay.
So I'm just playing my tone curve, and I noticed that most of the photo is kind of in the orange. So I got rid of everything else just because I'm going to try to strip out some color and kind of make it interesting. But this photo is really dark.
Yes,
however, I want to keep it kind of dark, and I'm going to go to my paintbrush here, and I don't like using the exposure too much because I feel like it adds noise. So I'm going to go a little bit more with the shadows. And maybe a little bit of blacks. Let's see how that goes. Where's my paint? Hey, what's going on? Where's my O? So I'm going to use the O key to show me where I'm painting.
Okay.
And that kind of shows me like
just using an adjustment brush.
The thickness, if you will. It's all about the thickness, right, guys? Just kidding.
That's what I hear.
I can say that, right?
You can say that. You're talking about a paintbrush, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this may be our last show.
Yeah.
No, I didn't upload the selfie, so we're okay.
Yeah,
I'm doing this quick, but
yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect.
I like this method versus the radial or the graduated filter personally. So the thickness is not exactly. Let me give it a little once over. Okay, I hit the O key, take off of that. See, now the chair pops more. So let's see how much we can bring the shadows out of the chair. See, like that did wonders for the. So now let's bring up the texture as well, so we can see all the kind of the grittiness, the dirtiness of that chair. I'm gonna hit done on. I'm gonna hit done on that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the exposure and lower the shadows in the rest of the photo. And I've already brought up my clarity and my texture a bit. I don't want to do too much on the clarity, but I did notice that the dehaze kind of gives it kind of a creepy. So that's too Do I want it brighter or do I want to go dark? I'm going to have to go dark because that's what I like. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the adjustment brush. Click on this again and see if we can bring the blacks up a little bit more. Really bring this out.
It's interesting to see how different, because I've done an edit on this one already, so it's interesting to see how differently you guys are doing this compared to how I did it.
That's the beauty of it.
Oh, it's
Go back down
fantastic.
to the main
That's the beauty of
photo.
editing. There is no right or wrong answer.
I'm going to take down
Yep.
some whites. We're going to put this in a 8x10 for the IG.
Got
Because
to do the
I
IG
don't-
crop.
Are you
feel like-
are you gonna post this on your IG, Brian?
I feel like, yeah, obviously. So I feel like the ceiling took away from the chair. So now I can really see the chair better. And my tone curve is done. Like I said, it's pretty much only oranges and reds in this. Let's just play with the luminance a tiny bit. Let's see, make that orange pop a little bit there.
That's nice.
And you know what, just for the hell of it, let's see what we can do with the hue slider. Reds are not going to do anything. Oranges, make that kind of a little bit deeper. And well, I think I'm happy with something like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good edit. Dope edit.
Hold
Right,
on.
over-
Maybe a tiny bit of vignette. I want to overdo it. Not much. Yeah, like 12 maybe. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? What else? What am I missing? What else do I normally do?
I don't know.
I think that's. Oh, I didn't adjust my crunch. Is this gonna help?
Make sure it's level.
Less crunch. No, in this photo, I don't even care.
You don't even care it's level?
No, it looked pretty level because I'm gonna go with this line here.
It's actually using I use the in-camera level. It's level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me. That's my finish.
That's your-
I like that.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
cool, bro. Thanks.
This is actually going to
So
be our
fun.
new YouTube studio eventually.
All right.
That's
So,
my chair.
jumping over to Evans, who's at work here.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm using Lumina AI.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy edits in Lumina AI. What I did was come into the template section where I started off. I came in here and I picked a template, slapped the template on it. I use this template right here, dark and rich template. And then after the template, I move on to do my edits. So the template gives me the base, right? And then I moved on to do my edits. And for my edits, all I have done is added a sun ray to reflect a little bit of like a sunlight coming out through the window.
Very nice, very nice. I did the same thing. Not quite, but
So just to reflect a little bit of a thing coming in, and I didn't want that sun rays kind of hitting the ceiling too much. So what I did was used the mask tool here. The good thing about Lumina AI is that every tool in here has a mask right here. All you have to do is turn on that mask and paint. So if you can see, this is what I did with this tool, right? And just with the brush, I just painted it in. If I want more, I can paint it up here. But I didn't want it hitting this roof too much because the roof was already kind of like a little bit blown out, a little bit brighter, and I didn't want to put too much in there. So I basically just, erase the mask out of that roof area and let in a little bit more of the sun rays. But you can actually also come back to the sun rays and play around with it based on how much of the rays you want. The overall look of the rays, right? So nothing much, but just a little bit here and there just to add a little bit more mood to it. So this was the original and this is the after, just minor edit.
Interesting.
I like
Okay,
it.
you got something on the go there still, Paul?
I do have something on the go. Do you actually want to see it?
Yeah, let's see it quick, and then I'll show you what I did, and then we'll jump to one of Mr. Brian James' photos.
Okay.
I'm also done with the chair.
Are you?
Yeah, go to Meeks,
Share
go
your
to
screen
Meeks.
then.
Okay.
Share your screen. Come on.
Let's
see it.
Screen.
I do like Evan's edit though. We're waiting for the
I'm sure.
sponsorship from Luminar.
Oh,
Okay, so this is my rays are not as fancy as Evan's because I painted it with my hands. But I just felt like it adds a little bit of realism to, you know, the light that's coming in. If the room had some atmosphere, you probably have these light streaks coming in. So and I didn't do much. I desaturated the image just a little bit and added some texture, some clarity, a little bit of an S curve here just to make it a little bit more contrasty, and of course good old vignette. And I did take out a little bit of the blown outness up here, and then this portrait trick also works with everything. Blue primary, drag it to the right. So yeah, that's here's a before. Oh, let me go here. I'm going before and after. Before and after. All right, that's it.
Hey,
okay,
Brian, can you go back to my screen real quick?
Yeah, I can.
I just added something. I wanted to show you guys. So let me. I went back in with the brush. Let me zoom up. You bastard. Am I allowed to say bastard? Okay, anyways, I went in with a second brush and I went to the part where the, what would you call those? The little buttons are in the chair.
Yeah.
And I darkened them to give them more texture. And are they going to come back? Yeah, there they are. Hello, guys. Are you gonna? Yeah. Can you dark? Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna hit done. And so
I see what you did.
So I just took the brush and I darkened it up because I felt like those would be kind of dirtier, and it gives now the chair has you know, you can see the depth to it versus it being flat.
Nice.
That is detail,
Anyway.
man. That is detail. That's hashtag detail.
Hashtag detail. Mr. Brian James on the internet.
There we go.
All right.
Jeez.
All right, let's jump back to Paul's quick here.
Oh yes, look at this gem.
Final. Let's see it.
4. I just added a little bit of light. I used the grad filter and I just put up like a little bit of light. Which one was it? This one. There's a little bit of light there at the floor there, bottom left.
Okay.
I don't know, just a little bit of light, a little bit of something. I don't know. Make it somewhat interesting. A little bit of vignette too, and yeah, I do kind of like looking at this more. I do. What is that? Is that like a pail there in the background?
There's so many things in this photo. There's some boxes, broken lights on the chair, and
I don't know. There's a lot of things to. Like,
I'm
even
gonna
if you go ahead,
my edit on the screen.
Yeah, pop it.
And then we'll move
So
on.
you can go to mine real quick.
Okay, let me pop to Kobby real quick here. Everybody seems to like playing with this photo. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I would go for something like this, like cropping it a bit in because the ceiling being white was, you know, a bit distracting in a way. So it's more like I added a little bit of light, if you see.
Yeah.
Just to increase, more from this side to this side. So if you look at the edits real close, there is this light.
Yeah.
Right in there. Yeah. There's this second light just across it. Just to amplify it a little bit and then keep the focus right on the things in the chair.
Yeah.
So
I like the crop.
So like he kind of like with the light that you added there, I was just thinking, I mean, I know we're doing this in post, but Brian, if you had, have you ever messed around with a can of, what do you call that?
The
Atmosphere.
canned
Was it?
atmosphere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Atmosphere spring. Yep.
That would have been cool in the shot. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had some. If you look at one of the other photos I have, Andre was actually with me and he was kicking up dust.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I mean, if I was to go into Photoshop, I'll probably do a bit more stuff, but it's
So I will. I'll pop mine up on the screen just so you can see what I did with it here, and then we'll move on. Let's share my screen. That's what I did with it.
Yeah.
So I added some teal and orange toning because I like the way it looks, and then I also added an Orton effect to give a nice glow to the window light coming in. Brought up the shadows a lot to show off all the details around the room.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
opposite.
cool.
I darkened everything. You brightened. You brought it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just playing, and like you said, everybody likes to do it differently.
I love it. I love it. It's good
Okay.
stuff. Photo number 2.
So
That
photo
was
number 2, I guess we are. We can move on to one of Mr. Brian James' photos because he gave us a few to play with.
Okay.
Has anyone started working on any of his yet?
No. I need 2 minutes.
Brian, which one are you picking?
I have to pick. Or no?
Yeah, which one are you gonna pick?
Yeah. I don't care. Which one?
Which
do you
one
guys want?
first, Mr. Brian James?
Well, we only got 30 minutes left, so.
Pick the motorcycle.
Pick the
All right. Yeah.
motorcycle.
Do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
let's pick the motorcycle then.
I was gonna do the portrait.
Do the portrait. I mean, that's your thing. That's your thing. Do the portrait.
do the portrait.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how you
Evans.
do it. Actually.
You're gonna be cheating with that AI. Yo, Lumina AI, man.
Hey,
I'll do
I
the
mean,
portrait without AI.
the AI one, it's what makes the show, right?
Yeah.
I gotta promote my Lumina.
There you go. Drop a link down there.
drop the affiliate link.
So I'm going to do the portrait too, just without AI though. I'm doing it the hard way.
AI versus non-AI. It's the battle of the century.
So Paul's doing the bike. What's Kobby gonna do?
I feel like doing the bike, but the car is also
Oh, do the car.
calling me. I don't know.
It was calling me
doing
too. I ran after that thing. That's the wide angle
The
that
car.
that Evans hooked me up with. That was the first time in my life I've ever shot with a wide angle, and I was like running around after everything.
Okay, so who wants their screen shared right now? Who's there?
I'm just importing the photo. 30
Okay.
seconds.
Kobby, are you good to share, or do you want a few minutes?
No, I think the AI guys can go.
I think I'm good. I can share.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so this is a portrait. Like I said, in Lumina AI, when you come in here, the first thing you want to do is it allows you to easily start with a template. So the AI is going to take over and figure out this is a portrait, and you have a couple of portrait presets here you want to choose from, right? You can go with experimental. So if I go with the experimental stuff, you can see stuff like that, right? So the whole idea is pick a template that you like to start with. I'm not gonna do the experimental stuff on this one anyways, but I was just showing people how, if you want to do, you can do. I'm gonna go to the easy portrait section, and then I'm gonna try this vignette one. Let's see the faded one, tack sharp, high key. I think I'm going to start off with this vignette one as my base, right? So just like that, this is before and this is after, right? I just felt that vignette, it's in the wrong spot, but that's fine. Now, after this, you also have the option, if you feel the intensity of that preset is too much, to lower it down here, right? So maybe I'm going to go somewhere around here. And then I'm going to go into my edits and start doing my manual stuff, right? So with that, I'm just going to basically just look at this image. and I'm going to start up with the face, right? I want to give some more lighting in the face. So I'm going to go here, light the face. Lumina AI automatically detects the face and, brightens it up for you.
It's almost
This is
like
basically
cheating.
the cheated. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Now, I want to do on the work on the eyes. I'm going to come in here. Iris visibility. These are stuff that up until now you would have to go to Photoshop to do. But now,
You mean like I'm doing?
is if you want to, right in here, a little bit of whitening, enhance the iris. If you want, you can actually just zoom in so you can actually see what you are doing. And if you want to red eye removal, I don't need dark circles. She's okay. There's not that much, right? Eyebrow improvement. You can darken the eyebrows. And that's it. Up here, right? If you feel like you want to change the colors of the eye, one shot, done.
Oh man.
Right. So I mean, it's cheating to a certain extent, but it's still also what it is, right? So if
Save
you
time,
want, you
man.
can play around with the eyes if you want to. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Let me zoom out and see. Blue eyes, maybe. Or I just leave it at the original. But because she has purple in there, I was looking for something that will kind of blend a little bit more with it. But I guess the original is good enough, so I'll leave it at original. Right. It's actually really quick stuff that you can do here. Skin on the if you want to do a little bit of a skin stuff, then you can come in here. And this one is just basically, if you look at it all the way down, and you can use this, bring it up, kind of see how you can smooth the skin out. If you go all the way 100%, that's it.
While
I'm
you're
not
doing
going to go
skin
too
there, I'm
much
going
for
to
that.
quickly jump to my screen,
Yep.
if you don't mind, just because I'm doing skin, but I'm doing
All
it
right.
the old way. Well, not necessarily old way, but
The manual way.
Yeah, so I am in here at 100%, and I am moving around doing frequency separation. And I'm just taking samples of good skin, just touching up small little blemishes. You can spend a little bit of time on this, or not a lot of time on this. But that way you maintain all the texture in the skin instead of the old way of absolutely destroying it all.
I was gonna say I noticed with the AI that although it did smooth the skin a little bit, it didn't remove blemishes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's another step. So there is
Yeah, I assume
a
so.
second step down there for if you want to remove blemishes. But for this particular image, I probably will do it manually. I can show you guys how that works. But the reason why I probably won't use it on this is because you have paint on her face.
I wonder how
if
that
I
would
use
do.
the AI, it might remove some amount of that paint.
Yeah, that's where coming in manually like this can come in very handy.
That's why I throw paint on all my models so that people can't use AI edits on the.
Oh, but then wait a minute. Don't forget that I told you guys that everything in Lumina AI comes also with a brush, right? With the mask that you can use.
Oh,
so
good.
Even though the automatic removal, skin blemish removal is taking away the paint, I can now just click on the brush and paint it in where I want it, right? So I can bring back what I want to bring back and take out the ones that I don't want to take out.
Cool. Brian, who else the screen? Who else the screen can we go to?
Who wants it?
I can go if you want.
Sure, let's go, Paul. Go for it, buddy.
Cool. Okay. I don't know whose motorcycle this is, but it's cool. It's very like Terminator. Do you guys have me on the screen?
You should be.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
you are.
Yep, you are.
Okay. Let me click the auto guy. And we'll see. Just going along the lines of easy edits. If you guys don't know, there are presets built into Lightroom. So on the left-hand side, there are a bunch of presets that you can go through, and then you can just quickly hover over, and you can see how it just kind of instantly changes. To me, this photo, I think, needs to be like cold for some reason, probably the time of year. But like a lot of times in the wintertime, I like using the cool light preset. Just gives like a metallic vibe to it. Speaking of distractions, you look at the right side of the frame, there's a truck. Unless it's Arnold Schwarzenegger jumping out, I don't want that. So we will get rid of that.
I like the reflection.
And also, the reflection is obviously the focus. The only problem is I want like the whole wheel. Like I don't like cutting off important things, but also the truck is getting in the way. So what do, right? What you can do is, let's crop that. Let me just see what we can do here. First of all, let's just get rid of, let's drop the highlights. Push the contrast. You can pick a grad filter, and then we can just basically, or I guess maybe like a radial filter. Let's just see what happens.
I love that part of editing. The let's just see what happens part.
Oh, this is my whole day.
That's how you learn
we
stuff.
can push it. Yeah, you just push buttons and see what happens. So you want to maintain like the same temperature. So in the temperature slider, you know, obviously if this was like a summer day, you want to push it to like the warm side, but it's not. So you want to push it to like the colder temperature.
It wasn't.
I don't
How
know.
do you know?
I don't know. I'm just going with the story that I just made up in my head. Okay, and then we'll push the whites. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. That truck is really bothering me.
I did crop it as well, Paul. Like, yeah, my crop was like, yep, pretty much like that. Yeah.
Cutting off the wheel though. That's the only thing.
But like,
I mean,
for me, the focus is still on the wheel, and you do get some of the reflection. But yeah, I cropped the truck out too. I'm almost positive I did. But like, what I did is I took a radio filter and I brought out texture, clarity, and some shadows on the actual wheel. What do you call it? The brake, because it's like silver. And I did it there, and then I did it again in the reflection, and that's kind of how I made the wheel pop.
Yep. Okay. Also, another thing with like distractions is like that. What is that? Is that Good Life Fitness?
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. Yeah, the 24-hour.
I want to drop that red because it's also bothering me. You know, we're not sponsored by Good Life Fitness, so I can say that.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly jump to mine.
Sorry?
I'm just going to jump to my screen quick. I just finished editing the picture, the portrait shot, so I'm just going to share that quick. Just a super quick edit. Share this. There. I don't know if you guys can see that now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the camera raw into Photoshop, cleaned up her skin quick in Photoshop, gave her a nice soft kind of look to it, up the purples a little bit, pulled back the greens a little bit. Just super simple, quick, like 5-minute edit.
Pretty.
Still got all the texture in the skin, just cleaned up the blemishes, and then just added a bit of a glow to soften the whole thing.
Nice.
So that's that.
All right.
Best photos always require very little editing.
Let me share my screen here real quick.
The photographer must have done a good job.
All right.
All
There we are.
right. So Mr. Brian James coming through with the photo.
Mhm.
All right.
Took the greens all the way up.
All the greens
Yeah,
all
I
the way
did.
up.
Yeah, I took the greens all the way out. I not completely. There's a very little. It's not completely gray on my screen here.
Yeah.
But
I tried shifting them to a fall vibe and it just didn't work.
Mm.
yeah, I just felt like there was enough color in the shot already, and the original green. Let me click back here so you guys can see the original green. Well, it can work in some instances, but for me, I took it out. So pretty much I did some work here in Lightroom, and I went to Photoshop, and I tried to cheat, but the Photoshop neural filter is not very smart. But the good thing is it does give you a layer, so you can always take stuff off that you don't want. So I didn't think this image needed any frequency separation as such. So I just went in and removed a few blemishes here and there. But then, of course, you want to avoid all the color and all that. So
Yeah, you have to keep the paint splatter.
right. So
Yeah.
so that's pretty much what I did. And I did before I moved it up. I did bring up the shadows quite a bit, and also brought up the clarity a little bit, because with color, you got to do those things. And with the eyes, I went into brighten inside the pupils.
Yeah,
and
just put a bit of light in her eyes. Yeah, you had to on that.
just to make it pop a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Evans, you want to share your portrait? Because I see it up.
Yep. Let me show my final. So this is what I ended up with finally. I didn't touch the greens like Meeks did, but I toned the color down and push it more towards the blues a little bit. Just basic edits just to make it stand out. So this is what we brought in. This is my final edit. Put a little bit more light and draw more attention to her face. Tone down the colors a little bit, and that was it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like that. The light on the face helped. It brought it out.
Yeah. Mr. Brian James, you got something there you want to bring up?
I mean, you can. This was my edit of the wheel. I don't.
Okay, let's show Paul's first. Then we'll go back to Paul first. We'll show yours as the final.
I lied to Paul. Actually, I didn't crop out the truck.
Thanks.
Now I feel bad.
Okay, Paul, you're on.
I just solved the truck issue.
Cloned it out.
Let me know if I'm on the screen.
Yeah, you're on the screen.
Can you hit F so we can see full screen? Does that work on a PC? Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you brought out some
I'm
light purple reflections and stuff.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, but I also clone stamped the lights to get rid of to hide this truck, so it kind of looks like, I don't know. There's not a truck there.
Like a taxi
but it's still, yeah. I mean,
got lazy with
it's
this
not even noticeable, really. I don't think it's. I guess it is a little bit. That shouldn't be the focus of your eye, anyways. But
if you're looking at it, it looks like a taxi almost, actually, like a Beck taxi. Okay, so let's go to Brian's.
Yeah.
On the final on that one. Let's have a look. See here. I see your regular toning there. Yeah.
I was more so into the browns, and then, like I said, I used a radio filter here. I brought out the clarity and the texture a bit for the wetness on the wheels. And then I painted the brake caliper. I guess you call it a caliper, and the shocks. And then I did a radio filter, like I said, here and then here to match, and brought out the shadows and a little bit of highlights.
Looks good. Looks good. Okay.
Thank you.
Kobby, were you working on anything? You haven't. I know you had the car up there for a while. You're on mute again, Kobby.
You're muted again.
We want to
He's
hear your
still-
voice, Kobby.
But he's still talking to us.
You're still on mute, Kobby.
I bet his wife wishes she had that button. We can't hear you, Kobby. You're still muted.
You're still on mute, Kobby. Oh, the kids?
It says
Kids
his
are
mic
running?
connected.
All right.
Okay.
I think
We'll
that's
see your
good.
screen.
We'll move on until Kobby can share a screen there. Anyone else working on anything?
I just started working on the bike. I might be boring. I don't know if someone is finished with something.
I'm
Well, I
never
can
bored.
show this one. I edited the other.
Oh, that one.
I
Okay.
edited the. Yeah. I did two of them. I did the car.
Okay.
The car I did in black and white,
Okay.
and then I did also the
desk.
the desk.
That's the one Mr. Brian James wants to play with, I think.
Does anyone notice the
Yeah.
shadow on the door?
So this was the before of the desk and the after. It's my Lumina
Wait.
acting up.
I missed it. Before or after? Where's
it
that?
is. Don't worry about that. Lumina is acting up on me.
Oh, no.
So guys,
This is the
But this is the
After.
final edit
That's
I
the
came up with. Yeah.
That looks nice.
my sister hung up on me.
The system hanged up on you?
Yep.
That sucks. It's happened to all of us, don't worry.
Last time it
Oh, yeah.
happened to Brian, and today is on me.
Happened to Brian during half
Yeah.
the show.
It happened to me while I was hosting the show,
For
so
like half the show.
I know. I couldn't do anything.
Let me see
I
if
just-
it works now.
Oh, there we go. I saw a before and after pop up there, I think.
Yeah. For some reason, my system is also kind of a little bit laggy.
That's okay.
But
That shadow on the
Is it?
door is interesting, though.
yeah.
I didn't notice the shadow on the door
The
until
shadow, isn't that creepy?
Yeah, because
That
I
is.
opened it up. I opened it up a little bit to because it was a little bit darker, so I kind of open up a little bit just to bring out a little bit more light in details in the shadow areas. Right. So
This is a photo I haven't edited yet, so
Mm.
curious.
the only thing I wanted to do was to straighten out the lines a little bit.
Okay,
But my system is acting up now, so
just do the perspective.
but I just wanted
correct.
to straighten out the lines.
I'm curious to see what Brian's going to do with this one too.
I'm working on it now, but
If you want to put time into it, like seriously, put time into it.
well, you could
I don't
switch
mind.
over, and then I'm gonna show you. I'll show you the base edit, and then I'm gonna show you what I'm going to do afterwards. Let me get my me. So
So we're on your screen.
I'm almost gonna do like I'm gonna take some highlights, a little bit of exposure. I'm gonna almost do like a dodge and burn, but with lights and shadows here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep it kind of subtle, but
The creepy shadow on the door on the right, which is
That
fantastic.
shadow is freaking me out, man.
That is. That's so
It's
cool.
freaking me out.
And this is the house I want to take you to on the weekend, buddy. So
Thank you. Thank you.
let's go. We got to find out, see if that shadow shows up some more in the photos.
so
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
awesome.
just bring out. Why am I hanging up now? God, maybe it's this
Maybe it's just
show, man.
StreamYard tonight.
So I'm bringing out the light on these part. Oh, here on the floor as well. And then I'm gonna do the same on the darkest areas, but I'm gonna bring it down a bit, just so I get contrast. And then on the darkest areas, I'll go here, just to try to offset the shadows, and here, and here. I'm not gonna touch the desk because I want to do something there. I'm gonna take this out a little bit. All right.
Excellent, excellent.
Good. And then I'm going to use a radio filter just on a chair. So a little bit of exposure, a whole bunch of shadows. And
Yeah, I love the whole vibe of the shot. I can't wait to play with it myself.
So this way you can see the chair. Now, I'll explain to you what I was thinking. Maybe this is crazy, but okay. So that's my base edit.
Okay.
Orange and teals for me. But so what I was thinking, and this would be pulled off better if I had like one of these lights, but I wanted to make a glow here, and Photoshop almost like maybe like a spirit or like the head of a man,
100%.
but kind of like translucent, almost like there's a dead person sitting there. I don't know. That was just my idea, but I wanted to have a little bit of glow off of them. I don't know, but I mean, I actually
go there yourself.
I like this.
Go there yourself and take a
I'm afraid of places like this. You take the photos, send them to me, and I'll. Anyways, that was my idea, but I like these. You know, when I first started photography, I would go to abandoned. I'm not actually afraid. I was kidding, but I would go to like abandoned places, and I love the textures and the crap that you can find in these rooms. But I know we're not at the end of the show yet, but Brian, like these two photos, I really enjoyed editing both of them. So thank you. That was fun.
No problem. Glad you like them. I'm going to pop over to Paul here because he's got his screen shared there. I think Paul's working on that same shot actually. So
I am. Oh God.
I
like that too.
Okay, come back to me in a minute, Brian.
Okay.
Because my Lightroom decided to close down.
Okay. Evans is sharing there, so I'm going to go to Evans.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're working on this one again. Oh, so you're doing all the perspective corrections.
I did a perspective corrections.
Okay.
And if you can take a look, this is my second version of it. But if you take a look carefully,
I can see.
Let me see
exactly
if I can do.
Done.
You see what I've done, right?
I see exactly what you've done right away.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have flipped the image around a little bit.
Yep.
And so the original left-hand side is now on the right-hand side, kind of thing. Straighten it a little bit. I think, I don't know. For me, I like this view a lot better for some reason. The original was nice, but I feel like I get a little bit more balance, you know.
Okay.
It's a dope edit.
That shadow on the door still, man.
The shadow is still on the door, but now the shadow is on the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side it used to be.
I love that shadow.
Hey, you know the other thing I was just thinking, because that kind of looks like a man with a hat on to me.
It does.
Yes,
it does.
But like you could take like maybe the clone tool. I don't know. I was thinking of like adding in like an axe or a knife, and it's like making a hand there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Almost like there's a killer standing in the doorway like that. That would be pretty wicked. I actually
shot Laura with a knife in her hand for Halloween, so I could just borrow from that image and stick it in there.
Yeah.
Creepy, man.
That is.
There needs to be an investigation in that place.
So Brian,
are you okay, Paul? Or?
I'm loading Lightroom.
You're loading Lightroom? Okay.
If it's going to work or not.
Evans, why don't you talk to us about this one a little bit here?
So
or
this
is
car.
Kobby good to go? Hold on. Is Kobby good to go?
I just shared one.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't hang on me though.
Okay, I'm going to try and go to Kobby because we haven't had Kobby up in a while.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and share Kobby here. All right, there we are, Kobby.
Yeah.
Kobby's on screen.
I actually wanted to go to Photoshop just to add some motion blur to it, and then some spiral blur to the ties just a little bit to create the motion. But that's when things went bizarre for me, and then everything shut down. But for this one, I prefer to take away more elements from it rather than adding or introducing more. Like for instance, if I had gone into Photoshop, I would probably take out this part of the light, the street light, just to give enough clearance or clarity to this building.
That building is the CN Tower, mister.
Yeah, so these ones would go. All of
you
these.
can't just call it that building, you know. It's a Canadian heritage building.
That's funny. First time I've ever heard it referred to as that building.
I wish I could apologize, but I'm Californian, so sorry.
That's
the Canadian building.
We'll let it go this time. Yeah, let it-
I'm sure there's buildings in California. I would just call that building as well because I don't know it there.
that
Not
bridge,
Hollywood sign.
All right, all
that
right.
bridge.
I render my sincere apology
There you go.
guys for not knowing the name of your building in your city. So I would have taken out the street lights and then the whole traffic light over there to give the well-renowned Toronto Tower, the CN Tower,
CN Tower.
yes, some clarity, and then also focus on the car a little bit more by doing the whole motion blur just a little bit to bring
Okay.
it in motion a bit. Yeah, but then I couldn't go on Photoshop.
That's okay. It's interesting to hear your ideas though too. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's hard to do in the span of a show like this too, but
I think
Okay,
at this moment I just need to build a home, a whole PC.
okay, Meek, we have you up on screen here.
Oh, okay. Yes. So the bike, I was
Oh,
trying
you brought some
to
nice gold into that.
add some color to it. I know Mr. Brian James doesn't like too much colors. So whenever I'm adding color to his images, I get so excited. He's gonna look at it and cringe.
Why is there color?
So actually the green hit me a lot in this image, and I wanted to enhance it quite a bit. So I brought up the luminance on the greens, and I did with the magenta as well, but there was all this extra stuff that was showing, so I toned it down a little bit, and I clone stamped the
Got the
truck
truck out
out
there.
a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and yeah, so that's it.
Oh, it looks
That's
good.
it.
Looks good.
Yeah, let me see before.
Yeah, let's do a before and after, and then we'll.
Yeah.
Paul, is your Lightroom
Yeah,
logo back? Okay, so we'll see Meeks before and after. Then
I got something on, man.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, let's jump over to Paul quick because we're almost out of time here.
That's cool.
Interesting.
So I used the matte. I used the matte preset, and I just dropped some sliders down, like the vibrance a little bit, just to give it more of like a creepy vibe. And
Interesting. I can't wait to edit that photo for myself.
yeah, man. Like
Yeah,
what?
that's good.
Like was there a hat hanging on? Like, was there a hat hanging somewhere in the room?
I don't think so because the light
Crazy.
source is obviously on the left. The window, that's where the chair was actually, is over on the left there from
Just
the chair
wondering how
photo.
that
They're both
shadow
in the same
came.
room.
Guys,
just how
that's obviously a ghost, man. You guys act like you don't know what it is. It was a ghost.
It wouldn't surprise me in this house, to be honest with you.
God.
Okay, so we're gonna drop Paul there. Evans, I see you're working on something. We'll bring you up quick, and then we'll go to
Yep.
Kobby quick. Evans is
Okay.
working on that shot.
So this shot, I like it a lot. The warm in it in the original. This is the original. The warm in it, it's okay, but I feel like I wanted to highlight the dust rails a little bit more.
Mhm.
So I shifted the color temperature a little bit more to the blues, just to make that streak kind of stand out a little bit more. I mean, the original white balance was okay. It's good as well. It works as well, right? So, but I just wanted to take it up and then cool it down a little bit just to get more emphasis on that.
Yeah.
I dropped my highlights a bit, put in a little bit more contrast in here. That was just a basic edit on this one.
Excellent.
Cool. What type of day?
I have edited that once. So I'll
What
just
time of
stop
day
talking.
was this, Brian?
Midday. I'm just going to share my edit on that one because I have done an edit on that one. So that's my edit
Yep.
on that one.
Yeah, you went with the warmer tones,
Warmer tones, but I still brought out all the dust.
all the dust. Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool, cool.
Great
Again,
job.
playing with that 1.4, that's at f1.4 on the 16 mil. It's a great lens for doing abandons and stuff. So much light in.
It's buttery smooth.
All right, Kobby's got the bike there. We'll jump to Kobby quick.
Oh, you're on
Kobby,
me
we're on you now.
now. So what I did was to do a quick edit in terms of just tweaking the lighting just a little bit. So that was where most of my focus was on, just to make the greens a little bit more to the moody green tones. And then also I changed the orange color more to uh, a pinkish color, just to create that kind of switch between it. So I'm creating, just a second. Don't do this to me.
Is it hanging up on you again?
Yep.
Wait, what day is today? I have to put it in my journal because
If it's hanging up, let me know, because I'll pop over to Mr. Brian James, who's got a photo to share there, and then we'll.
yeah. Please
out
go
here.
to Mr. Brian James and come back
Okay,
to.
let's go to Brian James.
This was just my edit on
Ooh.
the photo that I did. So again, I like to strip away the colors, but
Yep.
I did a lot of painting on this car because there was some. I did bring a little bit of clarity, but there was a lot of shadows on here that I didn't like. So there was a lot of painting in here. And I redid the shadows, darkened the shadows just a little bit. And then I went in with Photoshop and I brushed in the tail lights
Nice.
to make that glow. And then in hindsight, I was thinking I would have liked to bring this out. Now, as Kobby mentioned, this
That light's gotta
bothered
go.
me, but it didn't. It made it into the photo, so maybe it gets crushed. It's just that I wanted to leave it wide, but yeah, maybe I should go
You can
back
take
in.
it out. You can
I
take
could've,
it out and then.
Easily, right? I could just end the pole here because I was thinking I don't want to take out the whole pole, but just end the pole
No,
here.
yeah,
So,
the pole there and go above it. Yeah, for sure.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
Kobby, are you good to do a before and
Yeah,
after that?
yes. Let's try.
Okay. Go Kobby quick, and then we got to wrap this up because we're past time already.
Yeah, so this is just the before and then the after. So on the right is the before, on the left is the after. So it's just basic minor tweaks just to bring in some color in there.
Looks like you brought out some texture, at least
Then,
from what I can see
yeah,
on my
bring
screen.
in some shine on the tie itself.
Yeah.
So it's more like focusing on the tie and trying to figure out what's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Looks good.
Nice.
Good. Okay.
Buddy.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Fun times.
I'll,
Mr.
do you
McGowan,
want to start wrapping this up? We'll start with Meek. If you want to close us out here.
All right. Thank you guys for
My
tuning in.
takeaway from this, yeah.
All right.
No,
Thank you
don't
guys.
worry.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a show we have every Wednesday. It's going to be on one of our channels. So if you do subscribe to everybody on here, you're never gonna miss it. Subscribe and hit the notifications button. And I had a good time today. It's good to see other people's processes because as photographers, sometimes we're just in our own little world, and sometimes just hearing a thing here and there can help you grow as a photographer. So these kind of activities are always fun, and looking forward to the next one. All right, Evans.
Excellent. Evans.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us this spending your Wednesday night with us. Like Mick said, we are up every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. one of our channels. This is a community. We just want to be here to be able to help and support others, as you guys also help and support us. So come on every Wednesday night. Let's have some fun. This is a community show. So if you have any ideas for a show topic and stuff like that, don't forget, throw us a note somewhere in there and we'll try to fit it in. Right. So thank you guys for spending time with us this Wednesday night. Kobby.
Is it me now?
Go for it, Kobby.
All right, guys. It's been a wonderful show today. We've seen how human we are, and you've seen how we can edit different kind of scenarios. It's just the whole idea of having the mindset of what to take out, what to bring in, and it's been a marvelous show. This just on the spot edit. So as you can see, it's been different procedures. Some people start from the color grading to the sharpening to the little brightness and highlight. Some people start the other way around. So there isn't a right or wrong way to edit. The whole thing is make sure that the output is exactly what you imagined it to be.
Boom.
Yep.
Well said.
Mr. James.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday evening. And I hope it was fun for you. It was fun for me. I especially like to see how people edit my photos at really different take, as you said. So please follow us on socials, give this video a thumbs up, and that's it for me. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks everyone for jumping on and watching us. Big thanks to Mr. McGowan for directing, because it's not easy. So I think Brian did a great job directing the show.
Thank you.
And yeah, hopefully you guys took something away from it. Like everyone said, like editing is such a personal preference, and you can tell that, you know, people post photos on social media, but not everyone knows the work that goes behind the photo. So always keep that in mind. And it's a process, so just enjoy the process, and you'll just get better. And that's all I can say. Hopefully you can join us next Wednesday for another show. I'm sure we'll figure it out what we're gonna do by then. Yeah.
All right, and I'll close this off by saying thank you so much to everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have suggestions for us or any feedback or anything, once this video goes live on my channel, the comments will be open. You can leave us a comment there. I will add everybody's YouTube and IG links to the video as well, so that if you want to look up anyone in particular, you can go there. And yeah, the video will live on my channel, as all the other videos live on everybody's channel. So go back and check out past shows, and keep watching for future shows. Appreciate y'all watching, and that's it, I think.
Peace.
Peace. See you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.